All right, good morning. So this is a video we're going to be working on tightrope walking. So one of our skills. There's a couple of different steps that we're going to be going. We're going to start with a line, right? Then we're going to go to a little bit of an edge or a ledge. Then we're going to go across the parking stopper, and then we're going to work on the turn and work on going back and forth. But the first thing I really want to stress to you is safety first. Please be careful. I know that it's not that high, but you could roll an ankle and you could hurt yourself. So please just be careful. If you feel like you're gonna fall, just step off and try again. You get multiple attempts, and so there's no problem with taking it slow. All right, so the first step that we're gonna be working on is traveling on a straight line. So I picked a line on the ground. This is just a parking spot indicator. And what we're gonna do is you'll start at one end, you'll place your foot on the line. You want your arms out a little wide so you have good balance. You want to focus on a spot on the line out in front of you. Try not to look at your feet. It gets distracting when they get wobbly, but if you focus on a point out in front of you, it keeps you good posture and it gives you a point of reference. Stand up nice and tall, and what you're going to do is just place one foot in front of the other. Work on keeping good balance. You want to bend in your knee, right? Don't straighten out your legs. And travel across the line. And it's not that difficult if you keep your focus out in front of you, keep good posture, and keep your hands out. So let's talk about our feet. So your foot should be on the entire line, right? And as you place your second foot, place it right out in front. And you're gonna feel your balance, and you're gonna have to really stand up tall and focus on that point out in front of you. And as you switch feet, transfer your weight to your left foot, make sure your left foot is solid, and then go to your right. Make sure the weight is solid on your right foot, and then shift to your left. Try to keep your feet in line, right? And keep your focus out in front of you as you continue. All right, now once you feel super comfortable with the line, the next step is to kind of get yourself up off the ground. So you can use any side curb you need, and what you basically do is start on one side, get yourself up on the curb. Now you have a nice outline where you can put your feet in between, right? So keep your focus out in front. Your arms can be out for balance, right? And step one foot in front of the other. Again, make sure that your balance is good on your front foot before you take your next step. And move. Nice and easy. There you go. Okay, so the next step is our turn. So you're gonna have your front foot, which is gonna be your pivot foot. You wanna make sure that the weight is nice and solid on that front foot. And then you're gonna turn and shift your weight. Once you've made the turn, balance on your front foot and continue. All right, let's do a close-up on the foot. So as you get ready to turn, you want to come onto your toes a little bit, create a smaller surface area so you can kind of spin. And as you turn, you should be on the toe of your front foot and the toe of your back foot. And then you swing and turn. Once you have your balance, put your weight on your front foot again and continue. All right, so the next step is now we need to go across the actual parking block. Now it's gonna be a little bit narrow, so it'll take you a second to get used to it. So what we're gonna do is practicing just going across the block under control. So as you step onto the block, make sure your front foot is stable, right? Step up, and then nice and easy, all the way across. Once you've completed that 2 or 3 times, then we'll move on. So let's do it a couple more times. One more time. Focus out in front. Use your arms for balance. Make sure that your front foot is stable before you move on. All right, so now we're gonna work on the turn. Okay, so we're gonna go across, right? Make sure we're on our toes. Turn, make sure we have good balance, and then continue back. So let's give that a shot. There we go. Let's do a close-up of the actual turn. So when you turn, because it's narrow, as you swing, you might want to do a half turn. And you balance on both sides of the block. And use the center of your foot as a fulcrum. And then you can continue. All right, so the final step is now we're going to go across, back, and across. So let's give that a shot. All right, some final tips just to remember as you're practicing. Number one, make sure you have good posture. Stand up nice and tall. Number two, focus on a point out in front of you. Don't look at your feet. Number three, keep your core nice and tight. It'll give you good posture and give you good balance. You can put your hands out to give yourself better balance so you can adjust your center of gravity better. Next is keep your knees bent. Make sure that you're not straightening out your legs, right? You want to have good support with your quads. And then the last little tidbit is if you're having a hard time with placing your feet in a perfectly straight line, you can always turn them a little bit to give yourself more surface area as you step across. All right, in closing, last thing, please be safe. Don't twist an ankle. Watch what you're doing. If you're having a tough time, if you're about to fall, just step off. You don't need to be a hero, and just have a good time and enjoy yourself.